Okay, I didn't have anything planned, um, so we're just opening stuff. It's easy content. I would be honest. I'm just waiting for like Power Elements. I want the new cards out of it, but I'm torn between Splites and Pure Elements because Elements are actually looking cool, but Splites, of course, are super powerful. Let me see if I can get better lighting. I don't know. Yeah, who cares? You'll be fine. I haven't pulled anything interesting anyway. But more than likely I'll be playing Sprites because I get to use Cat Shark. So that's going to be interesting. I guess the only problem is I'll have to like buy more Toads. But, because I think both Tier Elements and Splites play it. I don't think Toad's making do the next ban list, if that's going to be the case. I feel so bad because that card, like, just came back, and it's a cool card. It's super dope, but it's a little too good. And I don't know how, but I didn't realize until, like, yesterday that, when you negate a spell card with Toad, you can, set the card to your field. I don't know how I didn't know this, but I guess because I never played like in the paleo format. I didn't play, so I didn't get to see like paleo Toads come out and then just like destroy everything with their frog force. But that's what's going on. But I'm more excited because I think Darkwing Blast, which is set after, I think that's the next set after this, is insane with what you get in it. You get more branded support, which is cool, I guess. Branded's definitely a bit frustrating to play through, but I also feel like I like the branded cards a lot. So I feel like getting more support for branded stuff. I don't play branded, but seeing more support for the archetype is going to be fun. I haven't really looked into all the stuff because I got distracted by the only support that matters to me, and that's the fact, oh, Visa Star Frost is a card that's interesting, but that's the only stuff I'm looking forward to is the Fur Hire support that's coming out. Rex is insane, and I forget the name of the Link 2, but that card's super dope as well, and both are going to be really good going forward, so I'm excited about that, given I've been playing for Hires for a few years now. The Ghost, I have not seen this one. Oh, that's interesting. Stop spell traps in the grave. There's a bunch of just like random things you don't think about, and then like you see it and you're like, oh, that is pretty useful. Like that right there. It stops spell traps in the grave, and you're like, okay, that's not that useful. And you think about it, and you're like, okay, wait a minute. I can think of a few things that it might help to have that in the situation, but it's just not enough. Also, another thing, I'm like scared of Blight, man. That deck can play through so much. What is this? No, whatever. It can play through so much, and it's like immune to most hand traps. And it's not immune, but it's just the fact that Nibiru is basically useless against it, and then the cards themselves, they don't like die off of being hit once or twice. You have to hit them like probably with 3 different hand traps, but that also requires you to open 3 hand traps. And that's where, Predator Power. The second one is, I do enjoy this card. And that enjoys you to actually, you know, get hit with it. So, this play is going to be interesting. I don't know. It's going to be a fun format for sure. We'll see how it goes. Tier Elements, they look strong. My only issue with them, I think it's a play style, but I guess they play a lot like Light Swarms, and I like how Light Swarms play, but I'll have to see. They do a lot on your opponent's turn as well, and that's something that I keep, I don't know, whenever there's a deck that involves a lot of interaction on your opponent's turn, I tend to make mistakes. That's why when I tried I wanted to build Plunder at one point because it's pirates, and I tried. Ooh, there he is. There's Regulus. We actually got him. That's crazy. But I tried to build a Plunder when it first came out and stuff like that, and I ended up just giving all my Plunder cards to another one of my friends who's super into pirates because he's like actually trying to build a solid Plunder, a thing, and I just couldn't. It comes with interaction on your opponents, and I know it's just like the different ships and all that, but I just kept messing up. The lines were too big for my small PP brain to understand. I am more of a really gonna summon stuff, and it's just gonna be that's why I like the Adamantipator so much. There are lines to think about. Oh, what a box. Okay. There are lines to think about for Adamantipator, but they don't get that complicated. They don't really make it too much past like, oh, here we have a, oh, that's so good. This is another card I was hoping to get another one of. It's like, okay, we got Ash Tier, or we can make this route instead. But for Plunder, you have to worry about like, okay, we can special summon this from being attached and do this, and or we could you know, negate this with, I don't know, I don't understand it, and I think that's what it comes with a lot of decks, and that's why, like, how did I do that? Well, I'm a failure, and I'm glad that you got to, hopefully you didn't witness that. I just like, I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, I'll have to see how they play, and that's my thing. That's what keeps me out of a lot of like meta decks. I wanted to play Prank Kid, and I still like Prank Kid. I like the idea behind Prank Kid, but I just do not. Ooh, finally, right card. I just don't have the brain capacity to understand how to play Prank Kid. Like, I get the general idea, and obviously I used to play well, I guess you guys wouldn't know, but before the version of Adamantipator I played now, I used to play Adamance Pranker, which is where we play a small Prank Kid engine. But I was fine with that. It was simple, you know, go to Mianamu and all that. But now I don't understand how to play it. I don't know if your Frenzy's good, I think. But yeah, that's the only issue I have, I guess, is a lot of meta decks that go around I just don't understand. I would like to play Pendulum, but Pendulum players are they're far from human. Their brains are on a different galaxy, and the amount of thinking that goes into playing the Pendulum deck. I can play Soulful Chords because they're not too difficult to understand. It's just, you know, you have odd and evens and you win, and that's very simple to get. I can understand that. I like odds and evens. I can that's easy to work around. But for like Pendulum Editions, which is gonna be the next Pendulum deck I try to build, there's so many different ways to build it, and then like, ooh, isn't this the new Albaz one? Okay, we pulled a. I just realized you guys can't see it, but it doesn't matter. You're listening to my voice, and that's what matters. There should be background noise, okay? Regardless, I feel like they're super easy because it's just odds and evens. I understand that, and for the most part, the cards don't have too crazy of text on them. There's a lot of text on them, of course, because the Pendulum card is not too crazy. But then you get to like Astrograph and how it can like summon itself back multiple times, and then like just stuff like that where it's just like, okay, well, I just don't understand it, and I feel like I mess it up. I miss like the timing on some of these things, and I do it in the wrong order. And I guess that's why, like, I guess I need to build it to practice it, and I guess that can be said for like any deck, but for sure I'm gonna need, when it comes to Pendulum Editions, I'm gonna need issues. And obviously I've been doing some research on it, but I don't know. Next up for me, when it comes to finished decks, is gonna be Lyrilis. I'm probably gonna finish that one up, and then Exo Sisters right after that, because of course our new sets. Ooh my god, that's so good. We also got Lily, which is super dope. But the next set that's coming out is of course Power the Elements, and I'm waiting for that. I'm going to get a decent amount of that. I just like opening packs. I don't know if you guys, I think I mentioned it in a previous video, but for me, buying singles, it's fine, but I I have like an addiction, so I like to open the cards myself. I don't mind buying singles when I need to. Like, if I open a decent amount and I just can't pull something that I really want, I'll just, you know, at some point, you know, you outweigh your costs and you're just like, yeah, I'll just buy the card. Or it's just like a card that like came out a couple sets ago and I couldn't pull it and I just didn't care, but then later on I need it, and obviously I buy it. But for me, it's just how it is. But more importantly, I'm waiting for Power the Elements. I get a few support for some decks. Get the new Rice for Spaceship, which I think is a common, so I don't think I have to worry about that. There's also, of course, the new Exo Sister, which will just kind of help, I guess, tie the whole thing together. And I think finally there's a new Amazement Trap. I have Amazements, but the issue with Amazements is they're not that great. I don't know, I'll have to look into different builds of it. I know it's like Amazement Trap Tricks, but I don't know how well that's gonna do. So I'll have to do some thinking on that. But I mean, I'm happy. There's new stuff to mess around with. I love getting new stuff to throw in my deck. For Exo Sisters though, I'm thinking of having like a Exo Sister kind of hybrid with Time Thieves. I used to have Time Thieves built, but as time went on, I needed cards from it, so I just kind of took it out of there because Time Thieves aren't necessarily like the craziest. But I feel like there's a lot of cards, like the one that protects your XE summons from like card effects, whenever they're XE summoned. If you can XE summon on your opponent's turn, in theory you could like make an Exo Sister XE on your opponent's turn, and then like your opponent can't do anything about it, which would be crazy. So it's just stuff like that, like the small things. Ethereals are cool. I don't know. Just another archetype I'm just like thinking of, but I think if I build an archetype next, it'd be after those three, it'd be like Punk. Oh, we have a playset. We got the if you haven't seen it, I had another opening when I pulled one, so this makes two in this, so that's a playset. Personally, I just want Power the Elements, man. I don't know. I'm ready for splites. I'm ready to get my ass handed to me every time I attempt to play the game. It's some kind of like, you know, sick narcissistic fun. And I just wanna see it. I wanna see them hit fucking red, blue, and carrot and just full combos. I sit there and attempt to interact and they just say, you can't do that, and continue to play the game. And I just have to watch. It's, I don't know, man. I enjoy playing against my other decks because it gives me like a feel as to how would I counter it and stuff. I guess we'll make it a mini story time since we're almost done, so I'll slow down a little bit just so we can get the entire story out. But previously, I went to a tournament and I took fucking Fur Hiders, and that shit was insane because I actually did better than I expected. So I was excited with the results, and it's just something like, you know, people were sitting there and they're like, what deck are you playing? And they didn't know any of the cards because no one fucking reads Fur Hiders. And it was just great, so obviously that's going to be something I enjoy doing. That's why I enjoy playing against meta, because it's just like, sometimes, you know, there's the people who just sit in the meta. They don't give a chance to like break out and try anything else, and they just don't understand these random like terrible road decks. And yeah, my deck wasn't good. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it was, but it was tailored specifically to stand a chance. And that's exactly what it did. So I was pretty happy with what I got. And I don't know, I lost like every game except one, but I took every game to game 3. So it's not like anyone had an easy win. A lot of them had to eat shit. So I don't know. I feel like this was a good reason. I just wanted to waste money. This is why I have all these. Anyway, that was a lot of cards opened. I think I did it in record time, 14 minutes. I'm pretty good at this. Next time we're gonna aim for 10 with 2 boxes. Well, next time we'll have more boxes because it's gonna be Power the Elements. Anyway, still not bad. I mean, we got some of the Ethereum stuff. Freddy Crown. We got Willy. We got the new Abyss Dragon, which is super dope. Got Frenzy for Dinomorphia. I don't play Dinomorphia, but I'm sure somebody will want that. Got Rykard, which is insane. We got Dicoliseum, King Regulus. I think this was a pretty good opening. And we even got Visa Starfrost. So I'm not too mad about this. This was, for me, pretty great. Got two got 2 copies of Extra Pendulum, which is super dope for my Soulful Boards because I forgot Beyond the Pendulum has text on it. So this is pretty great. If there's any cards you guys are waiting for, let me know. Anyway, I think I'm done here. Gotta go find a place to put all these cards because I don't really have a good storage place for them, and I keep buying them, but I guess that's all part of the fun, right? That's why we buy cards. Anyway, thank you for letting me waste your time. Goodbye.